Welcome to this session. Today we are going to discuss something related to repetition loop statements. So to start with, let's first understand why do we need repetition in programs. So in a day-to-day life, we may have encountered in many places where in which we might have to repeat some entities or repeat some jobs. For example, there are 100 bricks lying at point X. All the 100 bricks have to be transferred to point Y. Let's assume that we can carry only 5 bricks at a time. So once we pick up 5 bricks in point X, we will be able to keep it in point Y in some duration of time. Later we'll have to revisit point X and pick up 5 more bricks and keep it in point number Y. So we repeat this step until all the 100 bricks have been transferred from point X to point Y. Like that, in programming paradigm also, in majority of the cases, repeating one or more multiple steps is inevitable. This repetition of process or repetition of an expression, repetition of execution of certain step or certain line of code is generally called loops in C. Basically, C provides 3 following loops. The first one of them is called for, second one of them is called while, and the third one is called do while. To start with, we'll start with the for loop. It is generally called the for statement. So let's look at the syntax or the general form of for loop. So the first thing that we will understand is the syntax itself. So you may notice that the first word or the token what we call in the for loop is the for keyword itself. Then the for loop has got 3 parts, 3 distinctive parts. The first one of them is called initialization part. The second one is the condition checking part, and the third is called the reinitialization. Some people also refer it as increment or decrement or update even. So we will just hold us with the reinitialization word. Then follows the steps, and these steps are, as you may notice, are put inside a block. So what are the basic functionalities of 3 blocks? The initialization part sets the initial value of the loop control variable. The loop repetition condition tests the value of loop control variable. And the third and the most important part is the reinitialization expression updated the control loop. Now we'll see the example of for loop. Now we can see that this is a process payroll for employee. So there is a variable called count employee which is being initialized to 0 here, and then the second part is the count employee less than number of employees. Then the third is the reinitialization part where the count employee variable is being incremented by 1, and the statements which we have to repeat is put inside the block. You may notice here within the block. So these are the things which we will have to repeat. So what does this basic for loop do? It is counting the number of employees until the employees have been exhausted. We are printing out the number of hours, the rate they are charging, and the pay they are eligible for. And once you are done with this, you are printing the total pay. Now to start with, we'll see that the count employee is initially set to 0 here, and then the condition, what the second part what we have specified here is the count employee should not exceed the number of employees. Then the count employee is increased by 1 after each iteration. So initialization, loop repetition, and reinitialization. Then comes the next loop, that is the while statement. The syntax is while, loop repetition condition, and the statement itself. So loop repetition condition is the same condition as the condition checking there, and the statement or statements is generally repeated as long as the condition in the loop is evaluated to be true. And the loop is called an infinite loop if there is no update or the reinitialization part within the loop block. Then it is called infinite loop. So the flowchart for this is, as you may see here, Then comes the while loop example. The same example has been now rewritten using while loop, which was formerly written for. So the count employees is initialized to 0 here, until unless the number of or the count employees is less than 7. These statements should be repeated. You may notice that there is a statement which has got the change in the color. So that is got count employee. It is the reinitialization part which is put in this. Then comes the next loop, that is the do while statement. The do while statement, the syntax looks like this. So you may notice that there is the semicolon here. In the previous two looping constructs, we never had a semicolon at the end of the construct. So let's see how do while loop works. So do is of course a token and a keyword as well. So within this we have got statement. First the statement is repeated, then the condition is checked. So what is the difference between for, while and do while loop? For and while are basically called entry based loops, and do while is called exit based loops, because the do while loop will at least execute for one time. Now we look at the example of do while loop. Find the even number, do, print, enter the value until the condition is true. So of course I have missed out the semicolon here, so there is a need to have semicolon here. So that's the end of basic introduction to loops. Hope you have all understood. Thank you.